understand we might be in a process right now. At the last minute, I'm dealing with this. There's some form of re-narrativization where somebody else is in a situation where somebody's trying to fictionalize the facts of their past, and they don't agree. All right, this is the third effort I made tonight, and this is actually awesome. It actually started with page 511. Apparently, in the 1850s, Supreme Court considered a number of maritime cases, or rather admiralty cases, and it's discussing consideration of ebb and flow of tide waters in establishing jurisdiction. One of the cases it talks about here is Cooley versus Board of Wardens of the Port of Philadelphia. It gives a little bit of an assessment, including some of the quotes. And then it goes on to talk about this. Passenger cases. And it says, as the exclusiveness depends in this case wholly on the reasons and not on any express prohibition, and hence cannot extend beyond the reasons themselves. They're talking about the specificity in the application of it. But then it says, cases on constitutional law. State, it's got something called state fright tax cases, 1873, 15 Wall 232 280 is the law today. That would be a while ago. But this is why it's important. The Propeller, Genesee Chief versus Fitzhugh, 12 Hal 443. Why? Because what it's talking about, including by an act of February 26, 1845, what it's talking about, if I'm correct, is how considerations of the basis upon which certain things were considered in the United States relative to their English definition have a different consideration once the technology changes. That the relationship with the environment in the United States compelled a different consideration of jurisdiction based upon how technology made engaging with and through the jurisdiction of concern, including in terms of how to handle the terrain and in what manner commerce was capable based upon the intercession of what would otherwise be considered as a potential jurisdiction with technology. So they're talking about this former case, the steamboat Thomas Jefferson, and specifically what they're talking about is that very fact. And they're talking about how in the early days in England, there was a specific manner in which they identified the relationship, the ebb and flow of the tide as a determination of navigable. But as the steamboat became more used in the United States, that it gave the United States a distinction in making determinations in consideration of navigable waters. Now, this book is from a time period. It was written, part of a historical book. It was written a long time ago. Right? But, okay, so it was written in 1922. Ah, shucks. So this book was written in 1922. Well, what this is saying is that there is precedent for specifically identifying reconsideration, not only precedent, but what is applicable within a context of jurisdiction based upon its relationship with technology. And it's important that one of the things it starts by saying is how much controversy there was in making determinations about the application of admiralty law.